Hey, everybody. In this episode, I want to talk to you about what I call cold to sold. This is where you are talking to people who are cold. That means they don't know you, you don't know them. Basically, they're strangers, and moving them through their customer journey to get them sold, which is where they become your client and you get to help them solve their problems. A lot of times, people are scared of sales, and it's most likely because they don't understand what sales really is. They think that sales is identifying a problem that a prospect has, agitating those problems with fear tactics and shame and scarcity, and then offering your signature offer as the solution to those negative feelings that you just created for them. That is not how we make sales, and that doesn't feel good. And I know as coaches and healers, you want to feel good throughout this whole process. So that is what this episode is about. Let's learn how to get from cold to sold authentically and with integrity. Stick around.
You're listening to Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast.
Welcome to Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast. And now your host, Meliss-Ep.
Now, your sales process is the process where you're taking a prospect who doesn't know you at all. We call that cold in marketing. And we're turning them into a client where we get them sold. So moving someone from cold to sold is not just manifesting and playing with your crystals and journaling about it. That's not how this works. It's not magic. It's actually having a sequence that makes sense that you follow that not only helps you make sales, but most importantly, helps you support your prospects during every step of their customer journey. If you are coming in during every step of the customer journey, you're going to stay top of mind. People are wanting to follow you to see what is that next step? What does that look like? And so we want to keep moving in that direction. Now, like I mentioned in the intro, if sales scare you, it's probably because you have been taught to be sleazy and salesy and use fear-mongering and tactics of shame and scarcity to get people to buy, where you're twisting their arm. And then you create negative feelings for them and say, but look, my service will solve that for you. And I don't want you to think that way. Instead, I want you to think about a deeper connection that you have with your dream clients, these prospects, potential clients. And I want you to think of the sales process as creating this deeper connection with them. I want you to have empathy, which most coaches and healers have anyway. So you've got an advantage there from the get-go. Put yourself in their shoes. So your dream clients are usually who you used to be at some point or another. Like maybe you were overweight, you lost weight, then you became a health coach to show other people how to lose weight. Maybe you went through a very traumatic experience, you went into depression, you overcame that depression, and then you became a life coach to show other people how to move out of that type of trauma. So use the empathy that you have, put yourself in their shoes, and remember that they are who you used to be. And if they're a good fit for your program, you want to help them make a transition or a transformation, then you can help them see what's possible. And then you offer your program as that opportunity to get them to that transformation that they're looking for. So sales is basically a structure, and it requires you having that structured discipline in your business. So if you don't have a process in place from meeting the stranger to making them a client and everything in between, then what you may run into is that every single individual that gets in contact with you will have a different experience with you. And that means that it's not really on brand. We want the experience to represent your brand, which means that every time you connect with someone is the same exact way as the next step and the next step and the next step. It makes it easier for you because you have a repeatable process. It makes it very clear for them because they know what those next steps look like as they're going through it. And it builds great brand reputation because everyone has the same experience. They can then go refer friends to you and say, this is amazing. This is what we did together. This is the experience I had. And then when their friend comes to you, they will have that same experience. The goal is that everyone who comes through your social media door has the same exceptional experience so that they can rave about you to all of their friends. And also they feel really, really special. They feel seen, important, and heard. Introducing the Spiritual Entrepreneur's Affirmation Deck. This is for you when you are ready to step into your full presence and power in business and life. This deck is beautifully crafted and designed to keep your daily actions in alignment with your purpose. Help heal the world and use your gifts to their fullest potential to make a big impact in other people's lives while making a living doing it. Get your Spiritual Entrepreneur's Affirmation Deck right now exclusively at melissmarketing.com/shop. Now, if your style of sales currently is this flowy, wishy-washy, whatever happens, then what's going to happen is you're not going to have consistent sales. You can still have flowy, go with the flow energy. You can still talk to people and whatever comes up, you use your intuition, but the sales process needs to be that structured, disciplined way of running your business. Because otherwise, sales are not going to be the regular for you. You have to have that process in place. It's going to save you time and energy, and it's going to really streamline how your business is run. And therefore, you're going to close more deals. You're going to have more sales. You're going to have more happy clients when this proven process is in place. So what I want to do quickly is just walk through the 6 different steps of your sales process. And I do this organically. We have run ads in the past, and sometimes we do run ads when we're launching something. But in general, I'm not running ads. And I have talked about that in many other podcast episodes. So you can feel free to go to marketingtipswithmeliss.com, and in the search bar, use any keyword, and all the podcast episodes will come up that talk about that. But running ads is a good thing if it's the right stage in your business. But I know for most of you, organic marketing is the way to go. So I'm going to walk you through quickly the 6 steps that you need for your sales process. The first is prospecting. This is when you find your leads. This is where you identify who your potential clients are, and then you get really, really clear on your target market. Keeping in mind, market research plays a really big role in this. The second step is that you then connect with these people and you start building a relationship. You get to know them, you let them get to know you, you have that vulnerable human side of you that you're showing, and this is called connecting. Now, connecting is about building a relationship. It is not about pitching your offers. We're not at the pitch your offer stage, and that's why connecting sometimes gets a really bad rap, because people skip all the other steps and they just prospect and then pitch, and that's not what we're doing. Connecting is really building that relationship, asking questions, making sure you're being heard, more importantly, making sure they're being heard, and having a conversation. The third step is when you qualify them. This is where you kind of see where they are. What are they struggling with? What do they need? Where are the gaps that they need help filling to reach that desired result? We call this qualifying. So this step is here for you to decide if determine if this prospect is likely going to become a client of yours based on the issues that they're having or what they need help resolving or the struggles that they're going through. So if you could come up with a list of 3 to 5 questions that you would ask your prospects, this is where that would go to see if they would be a good fit to move on to the next step in this process. I want you to think of qualifying as though you are a doctor and you're trying to diagnose a problem. In my ebook, Abundance of Aligned Clients and Consistent Income, which you can get for free by joining my Facebook group, I talk about how a doctor doesn't immediately prescribe medication to a child. So if a mom brings a child in and says, his stomach's hurting, the doctor wouldn't be like, here, take this medicine. First, the doctor would ask questions. She would say, what did you eat for dinner last night? Did you swallow any coins? Do you have any other symptoms? Do you have a fever? Anything like that. And after they're asking the questions, then the doctor can diagnose the problem. So that's what qualifying is. You need to ask the questions before you can help solve the problem. Then we move to the fourth step, which is inviting them to a discovery call. We call this inviting. And you want to invite someone to take those next steps and have a conversation on the phone. The fifth step is called pitching. This is where you do the pitching, not in the DMs after you met somebody, not the second you meet them at a networking event. Pitching is actually the fifth step. And this is where you present your offer, but only if you feel like it's a good fit. You need to know if you enjoy this person's energy. You need to know if you're able to actually help them. We're not just pitching for the sake of pitching. We are pitching because we know that we can help them. And what we are pitching, our offer, is the solution to that problem. So you want to empower them to make this decision on their own. And sometimes that means, and most times that means, you need to help them look at their objections and help overcome them in a very empathetic way. And then that last step is closing. This is where you seal the deal, they become your client, and you both can celebrate how exciting it is that you now have a new client and they now have the support that they're looking for. So the 6 steps, once again, are prospecting, connecting, qualifying, inviting, pitching, and closing. I hope this helps, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to the Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast at www.marketingtipswithmeliss.com.
Oh, wait. Before you go, I've got a special invitation for you, so listen up. Join thousands of spiritual women, entrepreneurs, coaches, healers, and business owners in a cozy community to learn effective and aligned strategies to grow and scale your business through organic marketing and so much more. I'm inviting you to join my free community called the Spiritual Women Entrepreneurs to lift one another up in business, spirituality, finances, and emotional support. Visit spiritualwomenentrepreneurs.com. See you on the inside.